What's going on, guys? Welcome to Moving to Minnesota, the channel that's dedicated to teaching you everything you need to know about what it's like living here and moving here. So today I'm going to be giving you guys kind of a city tour. I'm going to go around all throughout the Twin Cities area and give you guys all the information you need as far as the best cities to live, cheapest cities to live, and we're talking specifically about the Minneapolis Twin Cities suburbs. So to start this series off, today we are in Maple Grove. So actually this is where I live, so I'm kind of partial to Maple Grove. Walking around Weaver Lake Park right now. It's one of the many parks and lakes that are in Maple Grove, which feature, obviously swimming, water activities and things like that, but also these nice little walking trails where you can kind of come out and, take a nice little walk, enjoy the scenery. As you can see, we're enjoying a nice fall day here in Minnesota, which is the precursor to what's coming afterwards, which, you know what I mean. But yeah, all right, so Maple Grove is actually broken up into 16 different neighborhoods, each neighborhood kind of giving its own different feel. There's certain parts of Maple Grove where the houses were probably built in like the 1970s, 1980s. And then there's other parts of Maple Grove, like newer parts, where there's brand new $1 million home constructions. So, I mean, depending on where you are, the feeling that you get can be very different. But again, there's so many different areas to go to, and we'll talk about some of those right now. All right, so now we're out in Central Park, which is in the Arbor Lakes area of Maple Grove. Now, if you come to Maple Grove for any reason and you're not from here, more than likely Arbor Lakes area is where you're going to be, because that's where all of the shopping, the activities, the restaurants, everything is pretty much in Arbor Lakes. Arbor Lakes is probably the newest area of Maple Grove. And when I say new, I just mean as far as development goes. There's a lot of new construction going on here. They're always building new restaurants, always building new parks and everything. So Central Park is fairly new. And this is a really good location just because there's so many different places so many different things to do in this area. So like right now I'm just taking a walk, and there's a garden behind me. There is the pavilion over there, the Central Park Pavilion, which actually you can rent out for parties, events, so like weddings, birthday parties, things like that. There's a huge park over there for the kids, so if you have kids, you want to bring them over here, let them run around, use all their energy, this would be a good place to take them. They also have a splash pad over there in the summers so the kids can go get wet. Basketball courts, walking trails, there's a lake that you can look at and walk around. I mean, there's just so many different things to do out here. So Central Park is also surrounded by a bunch of new developments. So there's brand new townhomes, there are these luxury apartments that are right next to it. Just overall a really, really beautiful place to be and hang out, especially if you have family, you want to come out and enjoy the weather and things like that. Got hungry? Thank you, you too. Got hungry and had to make a pit stop. All right, so I'm gonna start off by addressing the elephant in the room. Some of you are probably wondering, why did he go change clothes? Well, it turns out that trying to tour the city and record all the B-roll on the 9th largest city in Minnesota, It takes longer than I thought. So this is actually day 2 of shooting, and I apologize if the audio is terrible right now. It is very windy, and I'm on top of a parking garage. Maple Grove Park and Ride, to be specific, which is over in North Maple Grove area. This is another area that's fairly new to Maple Grove, probably in the last 5 to 6 years. And as you can see behind me, we have tons of shops and new restaurants and all of that. So we have like Cane's Chicken Tenders, we have Target, we have Caribou, Taco Bell, Chipotle, all kinds of things over here with new developments constantly being built. There's also a brand new, I don't know if you guys can see it, nope, can't see it from here, but there is a brand new development going up. I forgot what they're calling it, but it has to do with the North Memorial Hospital right behind me here. So what they're doing over there is they're building a bunch of residential buildings, apartments. They're gonna have some more office space and places for even new companies and restaurants and things like that, shopping. So again, like I said, Maple Grove has all of this undeveloped land that it's constantly being built. New things are constantly being added. So it's a really good thing, or a really good place to get into and buy a home, because you know that in the future, all of this stuff is going to be developed, everything's going to be brand new, and property values are going to continue to go up. All right, so let's talk about some of the demographics of Maple Grove. Who lives in Maple Grove? What kind of people live here? So Maple Grove has a population of about 72,000 people, and the median household income in Maple Grove is about 113,000. The most people that make up Maple Grove are white-collared workers, so for the most part, like your business owners, your sales representatives, your office workers, things like that. So a big portion of Maple Grove is going to be people with kids, so families. There's so many parks in Maple Grove. There are so many different schools. There's actually 8 different elementary schools in Maple Grove. There's 1 high school and 1 middle school. Now, there is a nearby city called Osseo, which is a 1 square mile city right next to Maple Grove, which we will do a video on that later on. But Osseo also has a middle school and a high school. So half the kids from Maple Grove go to Osseo High School, and the other half go to Maple Grove Middle School or High School. All right, it's way too damn windy up here. Let's go somewhere else. Yep, another outfit change. You guessed it, day 3 of shooting. Figured I'd wrap this one up at home, seeing how when I started the video 3 days ago, it was 80 degrees and sunny, and this morning I woke up and there was snow outside. Good old Minnesota weather. All right, so let's just recap a little bit. So as I said before, Maple Grove is the 9th largest city in Minnesota. So there's a variety of different home styles, prices, and all that you can find. On the cheaper side, you can find a townhouse in Maple Grove for about $250,000 at the low end. And then on the complete other side of the spectrum, you can buy a brand new construction home for about $1.5 million. You can also find other homes at pretty much every price point in between there, so Maple Grove is very diverse in that aspect when it comes to housing. Maple Grove is great for families and raising kids, which makes up most of the demographic here. It also has a very low crime rate, so it's generally a very safe place to live. Surrounding highways in Maple Grove are Highway 94, which is probably the main one, and it runs east and west. 494 that runs south, and then you have Highway 610 that runs west. So it's generally very easy to get anywhere you need to in less than 20 minutes. Maple Grove is actually about 20 minutes from downtown Minneapolis and about 30 minutes from the airport. Another pro of living here is that there's plenty of parks, lakes, trails, shopping, and restaurants, so it's very rare that you would have to leave the city for anything. And as mentioned before, Maple Grove has the most undeveloped land out of any other city in the metro area, so you can expect even more shopping and restaurants and other things like that to pop up in the future. Now, despite all of those pros of Maple Grove, there are some cons, so I'll talk about a little bit of those now. So the first one is because mostly everything in Maple Grove is in the Arbor Lakes area, sometimes restaurants can get a little busy, especially during the week during happy hours. And because of that, some of the best restaurants in Maple Grove can sometimes have wait times that'll leave you debating if you want to go somewhere else or not. And then the last one, which kind of affects me, if you live on the western side of Maple Grove, then traffic during rush hour can get a little bit busy and set you back a little bit, just because our city to our western border of Maple Grove is the city of Rogers, and Highway 94 is pretty much the only way that you can get there. So again, during rush hour it can get a little bit backed up, so you really want to plan your trips accordingly. And that is it for today's video. I'm hoping you guys found this useful. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button for me and also consider subscribing. Now, of course, this is the first city tour that I've done, so I'm hoping that I got all the information that you guys were looking for in there. But if there was something that you want to learn about that I did not cover in this video, make sure to leave a comment below so that I can make sure to answer your question, but also add those into future city tour videos. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.